everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here. I just visited Dover, England. This place has been on my bucket list for a long time. It was a bit of a ride to get there, but it was so worth it. I was able to see Dover, the White Cliffs of Dover, and a World War II memorial that was very spectacular. I remember seeing Dover, England on a large map on my basement wall growing up as a kid. It was always a place that I wanted to visit as an adult. But I could pretty much say that about any place in the world. I spent a lot of time looking at a big map on a wall and reading encyclopedias on the places I saw on that map when I was growing up. So I'm so excited to take you with me to Dover. So let's go. Here's a photo of me on the bus ride over to the Port of Dover. I'm wearing my OVCO 100% cashmere scarf, and it was a lifesaver that day, let me tell you. I will put a link in the description box below if you want to check their website out. Here we are in the Port of Dover, heading to see some World War II sites. Let's do this. Our first stop was the Spitfire and Hurricane Volunteer Museum near Kent. This building held such an amazing collection of items from World War II. I could have spent hours just in this building looking at all the things and talking to people and trying the simulator that they had and seeing all the other items they had as well. It was amazing. One of the items that I purchased while I was at this volunteer museum was this reprint of the Daily Mirror from September 4th in 1939. It has a host of articles about what is happening on that day, printed that day in the Daily Mirror. It is so interesting. Britain's first day of war, Churchill is the new Navy chief. And on the back side of this, it has something that I'm going to read to you that I think is really interesting. This is intended for you. Read it, remember it, pass it on to your friends. First and most important of all things is, don't listen to rumors. Don't broadcast information. Don't lose your head. Don't listen to scaremongers. Don't cause crowds to assemble. Be silent, be discreet. Enemy ears are listening to you. Now get ahead, do your job, and don't worry. There are so many interesting there's crossword puzzles and cartoons, and they're all related to what was happening on this day, the first wedding of the war. It's such a treasure trove of information, and I'm so happy I picked it up that day at that museum. I am at the White Cliffs of Dover. I've been on a tour all day, seeing the World War II memorial sites here, and this is our final stop, and I just want to show you how beautiful it is. As you can see, this place is spectacular, but what struck me the most as I stood there for a good 30 minutes looking up and down the coast was all of the events that occurred there over the years. The cliffs have great symbolic value in Britain because they face toward continental Europe across the narrowest part of the English Channel. Invasions have historically threatened the cliffs, and they have formed a symbolic guard. The National Trust calls the cliffs an icon of Britain, with the white chalk face a symbol of home and wartime defense. Because crossing at Dover was the primary route to the continent before the advent of air travel, the White Line of Cliffs also formed the first or last sight of Britain for travelers. During the Second World War, thousands of Allied troops on the little ships in the Dunkirk evacuation saw the welcoming sight of those cliffs. In summer of 1940, reporters gathered at Shakespeare Cliff to watch aerial dogfights between German and British aircraft during the Battle of Britain. I'm lingering here looking across from Dover to what I believe is France. It is said that on a clear day it is possible to see the opposite coastline of England from France and vice versa with the naked eye, with the most famous and obvious sight being the White Cliffs of Dover from the French coastline and shoreline buildings on both coastlines as well as lights on either coastline at night. I think I can see France in the distance. Do you? The distance between the port of Dover in the UK and the port of Calais in France is around 27 nautical miles. And it takes about 100 minutes to take a ferry from one place to the other. Now, compare that with the fastest train from Dover to Paris, which takes about 3 hours and 47 minutes. It is compulsory for all passengers, including babies, to have their own valid passport or officially recognized EU ID card when traveling to and from Britain or France. There is a beautiful poem by Matthew Arnold called Dover Beach, and I will leave that linked below for you to read if you care to. Now we are finally going to turn around and see what lies behind me. As I finally turn around and full circle this memorial, we see in the distance what is called the Wing. It's the Battle of Britain Memorial Trust Visitor Center, and it houses the Scramble experience. The Wing is not a museum, but it is an exciting hands-on attraction that uses audiovisual effects and a wall video and other special techniques to show something of what a few experienced in the summer and early autumn of 1940. It includes a classroom, a cockpit area with an open balcony which gives superb views of the Channel to France, and a well-stocked souvenir shop. Here I am walking towards the central statue. This statue was carved by Harry Gray of the Carving Workshop in Cambridge. He said that after being asked by the Battle of Britain Memorial Trust to create the focal point of the site, he settled on the idea of a pilot, but he found it difficult to come up with a design that he was happy with. Then one day, during a break, Harry's trainee sat down and adopted a contemplative pose that provided the sculptor with the inspiration he had previously lacked. That pose was the blueprint for the statue of the seated airman looking out to sea. It is so striking in its simplicity, yet it is so moving in its context. Now we move towards the Christopher Foxley Norris Memorial Wall. The wall contains the names of all those aircrew known to have flown at least one sortie with an accredited squadron or unit of the Royal Air Force during the Battle of Britain in 1940, including those who survived the war and in some cases only left us in recent years. The names are listed in alphabetical order without rank or decoration, highlighting the fact that every one of the few contributed to the RAF's victory. This is the same reason the airman at the center of the National Memorial to the few wears an Irvin jacket to disguise his trade, rank, and nationality. They all played their part. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you like the 10-minute increments that I make my videos in. I can always find 10 minutes to watch something that uplifts me, inspires me, and that's what I hope to do with my videos for you. So don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you aren't already subscribed, and click on the little bell so you will be notified when my next video goes live. Thanks again for watching, you guys. Can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.